Hello everyone! A lot of you probably heard of François-André Danican, but most of you know him by the name of Philidor. And it's an interesting story how he got the name. The person responsible is was actually the Emperor of France, Louis XIII. Because one day the Emperor's court musician died and the Emperor said, "Bring me another musician." And they brought him Philidor's grandfather. And the Emperor was so impressed with his playing style, he said something like, "And thus I have my Philidorio again," because his playing style reminded him of the famous Italian musician Philidorio. And okay, the grandfather got really fond of this name and he decided to add the French version of the name Philidor to his family name. So when young François-André Danican was born, he was immediately called Philidor by everyone, especially his father always called him nothing but Philidor. So yeah, fun story. And Philidor was actually a great musician himself, but in those days you could actually make a lot more money by being a great chess player than by being a great musician. And Philidor was actually taught how to play chess by none other than Francois Antoine de Legal, and he was considered to be the greatest chess player in the world somewhere around 1730s. I'm sure you've all heard of Legal's mate, you know, when you capture the knight in the center, capture the pawn in the center with your knight, sacrifice your queen, and then checkmate your opponent. It's a very nice mate. So yeah, I mean, Philidor's ideas were all about the center of the board and all about the position of the pawns. He considered pawns to be the soul of chess, and nothing could be done without them. So this is a game Philidor played against an unknown player. But you know, the moves he played are extremely good for when this game was played. It was in 1790. So Philidor is white and he plays e4. We have e5 and Philidor plays the king's gambit because, you know, this is what he's all about. He wants black to capture the f pawn so he could push d4 and control the center with his pawns. We have e captures on f4 and now knight to f3. We have g5, bishop to c4, bishop to g7, and now h4. Asking black to push g4 or to capture on h4, but black plays h6. And we have d4 now. d6, and here Philidor plays a brilliant move, especially since this was played in 1790. He plays c3, and he completely nullifies this dark square bishop and prepares a battery with queen to b3 and bishop to c4 to hit f7. So we have c6, black prepares d5, and Philidor of course plays queen to b3, now stopping d5 and also threatening to capture on f7. We have queen to e7 and Philidor castles. So we have knight to d7, and now Philidor plays h captures on g5, we have h captures on g5, and now this is a beautiful example of why you shouldn't leave your king in the center of the board on move 10. Philidor plays knight captures on g5, sacrificing a whole knight. And it's not that easy to decline this sacrifice as, well, this f7 square is attacked 3 times now. So he plays queen captures on g5, and we have bishop captures on f7. And the best move for black here is king to d8, but his opponent actually plays king to f8. So we have king to f8, and now Philidor plays bishop to f4, attacking the queen. And his opponent plays queen to h4, and in this position Philidor actually has a forced mate in 4 moves, so feel free to find it. It's quite a lovely checkmate. Okay, those of you who've paused the video and tried to find it, I congratulate you for your efforts, and those of you who haven't, Philidor plays bishop captures on d6 with check. We have knight to e7, only move. Now we have bishop to g6 with a discovered check from the rook, and the king the king has no squares to go to. The queen is slicing this way, the bishop is slicing this way, so only move is to block the rook with a piece, and after bishop to f6 he simply plays queen to f7 with checkmate. So yeah, a beautiful game by Philidor, and as you can see, you can try and look at other Philidor's games. You will always see, if he has the white pieces, you will always see a pawn on d4 and a pawn on e4. Because yeah, he was one of the earliest people to say that you should control the center to win the game, which was later completely put in action by Wilhelm Steinitz. Well, I mean, in 1790 there wasn't really any knowledge of positional chess, so this was quite an accomplishment, and Philidor was the strongest player in the world, taking that title from Tsar de Legal. So yeah, that's this short video about Philidor and a nice story about how he got his family name. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I would like to thank Ray Fowler. Thank you for your contribution to my channel. I really appreciate it. And that's it, guys. As usual, you can check two of my previous videos here, and I'll see you soon.